Everyone, I struggled with doing this video. I debated whether it was worth the time. I honestly did. Outside of wanting to be inside my amazing studio and all, outdoors, and outside of just time availability with my endeavor and everything. And if you've listened to me for any period of time, whether here on YouTube or at cryptotalkradio.net, you will have heard me say I feel kind of a self-compelled mission to keep people safe. And when this came up, I believe it was Dex Tools, or it might have been PooCoin, but I'm pretty sure it was Dex Tools, talking about that it's trading now after a pre-sale. I had to look at it, and I initially was a little bit swayed, but then I ran into some stuff. So this is going to be an overview of a token, an underdog token, without any sort of advocacy, yay or nay. I'm simply covering it, and I'm going to call to attention one thing I saw here. I didn't see it with other tokens, but I wasn't deep looking, and maybe I need to start. Saudi Shiba Inu, SaudiShibaToken.com. If you want to check it yourself, I do recommend you do so. It's on the Binance Smart Chain. Again, it did a pre-sale, launched, and then immediately had its green candles, as is the case with launch, and then immediately had some crazy amounts of dump because people were given tokens up front, and then there was a little bit of shill, but not the crazy amount of social media hype you might see with tokens. So I was okay going to do it. Off the jump, whoever did the website design didn't bother thinking about website design methodology because you can't see what's going on up here. And obviously many tokens don't think that the website is important. As I've said, it's critical. You need to have your website working for those outside the crypto bubble, period, point blank. If you don't, I think you're garbage, frankly. But I scrolled down and, here's what they're doing. Apparently, the Saudis are going to buy a bunch of Bitcoin and SHIB, and so why not just make a SHIB token around this thing? Okay, that's your method, and that is what it is. 2% buys and sells with reflection rewards, and 6% and 8% on the liquidity. Okay, whatever. And then all the documentation here. Now, they are audited by Desert Finance. That actually that caught my eye. Okay, well, that's good because anything on the Binance Smart Chain should be Desert Finance audited, not the garbage tech rate. I think Desert Finance is the best of the business. We're not going to go through the audit in the purpose of this video because it doesn't matter for the purpose of the video. I do recommend you do for your own reasons and think it through. We will come to the white paper, but I want to go through the rest of it first, and then we'll come back to it. There's a roadmap and design, develop, marketing campaign, get to a number of holders, more marketing, add some shillers into the mix, why not? And then more holders. Another airdrop for who knows why, start NFTs, get more holders, do more marketing, do staking, make our own platform NFTs, get on tier 1 exchanges, which we doubtful. And then they said create our own swap and an app, and then metaverse garbage. And then unique meme token exchange. Well, I haven't seen any project do that. Create an exchange just for these garbage tokens to kind of like we call it outlaw mud show. You just have this place where garbage tokens are bought and sold and traded. It's something. It's something at least thought of. That, why don't we do that? It lets them all congregate in an area where you can buy in, pump and dump as much as you see. So okay, that's something. Social seems like it was pretty good. They do have a good handle on social media management. However, so did Strange Inu. We saw how that turned out. So I wasn't full sold, but at least it's better than the others that I've seen. And unlike the garbage known as Cult DAO, they actually tell you, here's how you buy it. And with instructions that are outside of the crypto bubble, here's what you need to do. You need to get a wallet. I don't like that they're pushing MetaMask, but whatever. Get the BNB on exchange. Yes, that's a way to do it. Yes. And then swap on PancakeSwap. Yes, that's it. They don't give the address, which is kind of bad because it's live. So they should have the address on the site, which tells me they're not keeping it up to date. So they're already on my hit list with an S because although they did this great set of instructions better than garbage Cult DAO, they didn't bother to put the most important piece on this so that people could actually do it. So then they're talking about giveaways of airdrops. We're going to be saying lots of airdrops. Okay. And then there's a contact form with a real email. Unfortunately, they force you to tell a scam for information. So they've got some negatives on them, right? Forcing to tell a scam, I'm not a fan. Doing a bunch of airdrops, I'm not a fan. Doing a pre-sale, I'm not a fan. And then not keeping your website up to date, I'm not a fan. not having a good concept of website design. I'm not a fan. Going after shillers. I'm not a fan of these things. So then I went back to the white paper. I wanted to make sure that there was something I wasn't missing in the basics, since I knew the website was crap. Well, the white paper, it does a good job of legal disclaimers. It does a good job of general information. It does a basic good job of the whys and the whos and all this other stuff. Here's where I started to have a problem, is this staking benefits page. Because although it might look impressive, there's some information here that is improper, as in I don't want to say it's a lie, but it's not properly used because they copied it from something else, didn't bother to edit it to make it accurate. Down here, where they talk about one of the major benefits of proof of stake, such as the Ethereum blockchain. This is a Binance Smart Chain token. It is not on the Ethereum blockchain, so the text was never edited to make it relevant to the Binance Smart Chain. You might think that's a small thing. It's not, because it makes it transparent that you copy pasted without any thought around the data that you were copying. I'll come back to that. High-level information about proof of stake or proof of work has nothing to do with their token other than the fact it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So if anything, you might say gas is cheaper on the Binance Smart Chain. That's why we chose it. That's what you should say, not this, because it doesn't matter. Proof of work doesn't apply to you. And then later, what if you get on Ethereum because you chose to? Then you've made yourself a flat-out liar. This one right here, this is the problem. Main problem. There's multiple problems. Quote, in addition to being the largest crypto exchange. Exchange? What are you talking about? You're not an exchange. You're a token. What the heck's going on here? Quote, by trading volume, the Ethereum blockchain. So they copy pasted it, likely from the same place as eco-friendly. Didn't bother editing it, so they didn't think this through. Keep going. Quote, ensure safety by leveraging effective security measures, providing a secure asset fund for users. Here's the problem. Of the many, here's the problem. This has nothing to do with their token. This is not something their token is doing. Do you know why I know that? Because the secure asset fund for users has nothing to do with what they're describing in their tokenomics or in their white paper for the tokenomics. There's nothing to do with it. The secure asset fund for users is a term that came from Binance.com. Binance.com explains what that is. Secure asset fund for users. What is it? Quote, it is an emergency insurance fund that was established by Binance in 2018 to protect users' interests. This fund's purpose is if something happens to crypto that is in Binance's custody, this fund is used to help reimburse those people who lost something. It has nothing to do directly with the Binance Smart Chain. It has nothing to do with directly anything this token has to do with it. Nothing. So to put it in your document that apparently it's part of your business is a lie. It has nothing to do with what you're doing. The reason that this comes out now, and the reason that I know that it was just copy paste, they didn't copy this information from Binance.com, because if you look at Binance.com's text, there's nothing in any of Binance.com's text that would give you that exact snippet that I could see. It might be somewhere else, like perhaps in the Binance wallet or somewhere buried in another document. I didn't see it. It might be there. They did copy it from somewhere. Here's a source I found, hackernoon.com. Hackernoon.com has that exact paragraph, word for word, around this secure asset fund for users when speaking about the Binance.com service. Okay, so we know that either HackerNoon took this text, likely all of it, verbatim from Binance.com, which is possible, or HackerNoon simply wrote it, and they wrote this business for themselves, and then these guys copied it out because they thought it sounded good, regardless of the fact it has nothing to do with them. Well, I dug a bit further. This is IMN token, itmynft.com. Never heard of it, ever. Guess what? They have that exact same paragraph in their document. I dug a bit further. Verse1.net. They have a variation of that paragraph. In addition to being one of the largest crypto about the Binance Smart Chain offers exemplary staking services. Now, here's the thing. The way that verse 1 did it they at least edited some of the text to make it more relevant and accurate, because it is true that the Binance Smart Chain does offer staking services when you build them to do this. That's an accurate statement. And they took out the whole business about the Seifu because they knew it wasn't relevant to them. So in the way verse 1 did it, this is what I expect to see if you're wanting to leverage the power of the staking, the benefits of it to the users, etc. Okay. And they said, now here's where verse 1 went wrong, is that the Binance Smart Chain is not a crypto exchange. So they didn't fully edit, but at least they did better than what Saudi did in the way they were trying to do it. This is the Reddit for a KlueCoin. KlueCoin has that copy paste straight sentence. This one says Binance staking. If I go back to this guy, this says Binance staking. So either KlueCoin copied it from Hacker Noon, or this paragraph is somewhere on Binance's site. But again, it is not, there's no editing of this business to make it relevant to what they're doing. And everybody's just copying the same paragraph. This is X_AE_A12 token. Same paragraph. This one at least calls out Binance Smart Chain, so they edited it to make it relevant. However, it is not the Binance Smart Chain that has Seifu. Has nothing to do with the Binance Smart Chain, solely Binance the exchange, and the Binance Smart Chain is not a crypto exchange. And then the last one, MetaMoon token. MetaMoon token has that same paragraph. And theirs calls out the same thing as what you saw on Hacker Noon. My point, specifically around Saudi copied the text over from something, either from Binance or Hacker Noon or something else, word for word, without editing it to make it relevant to what they're doing. But then I saw many other tokens are simply copying that same text. Here's the problem. If you're trying to emphasize the strength of the Binance Smart Chain, you shouldn't be leaving verbiage in there. You should understand what you're copy pasting. If you're going to copy paste verbiage to make your argument stronger for why you're a good token, at least make it relevant and accurate. The Binance Smart Chain is not an exchange, so you shouldn't call it Binance Smart Chain, largest crypto exchange. You can say Binance is the largest crypto exchange, but you're not on it, so that's not relevant. If you're trying to give the strength of Binance Smart Chain for its staking and capabilities for staking as a sell point to your token and the staking that you're introducing, what you should do is actually change the wording to make it accurate to what it really is. You should certainly not leave Ethereum blockchain in your document when you blatantly are a Binance Smart Chain token. Now, some people might think these are small, piddly things, minor things. They're not important things. Who cares? Listen, if you're a gambler and you're Kenny Rogers, you want to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. I support you. I celebrate your desire to FOMO off the green candle. I'm simply telling you that when tokens aren't thinking about the basic fundamentals of what they do and how they present themselves outside the crypto bubble, start to finish, starting with how important your website is to keep it up to date, because, oh, by the way, they didn't even bother to give you the contract address so that you could FOMO into the thing without jumping through hoops to do that. So number one, talks to the importance of a website and making it, and no, the answer is not to simply go to Telescam and figure it all out. It should be on the site so that if somebody did stumble across it, they might be tempted to buy into it, which gives you more holders, which gives you more volume over time, which increases price better than what it is. Second, in your white paper, actually take the time to make sure the information is accurate. Because if you don't do that and you just copy paste a bunch of garbage in there that's not accurate, you come across like a scam. If you don't want to be perceived as a scam, you should take the time to make sure stuff is accurate and clean and correct for what it is that you're stating. Or if it's not relevant to you, you shouldn't put it in the document because it's not relevant to you. This business isn't relevant to you directly. Binance's Seifu has nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with any of them that are not on Binance.com. So why are you putting it in your document? If you're trying to talk about the staking and security of staking on the Binance Smart Chain, that's fine, but it has nothing to do with Seifu. You need to make sure it's accurate as what it is that it does, so that when you're explaining it to people, it doesn't come across as transparently copied, aka plagiarized from something else that you didn't even think through. Now, do we have enforcement over that? No, but if Hacker Noon wrote it themselves and it's not from Binance and it's their own words, Hacker Noon, if they cared, could actually go after each and every one of these jerk offs and say it's plagiarism, and we can get you shut down because it's actually not legal to do it in some countries. If you don't care, I support you for not caring. If you're a gambler, I support you for being a gambler. If you just want to FOMO it, that's why I gave you the website address at the top of the show. You can feel free to do that. The reason I'm covering it here is to talk about these things that are fundamental things that tell me a project's not serious about being here for the long haul. They're not serious about being here for the long term. They're not wanting to be taken seriously because they're not taking the time to care about their things. Could you imagine if you had somebody who didn't even bother to get dressed in the morning and just go outside and go up to the store walking with PJs and flip-flops and didn't care at all to do anything to just get dressed? Could you imagine if somebody chose to go to the store or to the post office or something else in just their boxer shorts, some guy or some girl in their boxer shorts and nothing else? Obviously, the girl will get banned or something. But the point is, these getting ready, being ready, always staying ready, these are not, nothing is overly technical about what I'm describing. These are kind of common sense things. Presentation matters in wanting to be taken seriously. If you don't want to be taken seriously, just say so. And I'll support you for saying we just want to be treated as a garbage outlaw mud show token. But if you want to be taken seriously in what you're doing and not be perceived as a scam, I am looking that you took the time to do something so simple as give the freaking contract address for people who might want to buy into the token. And no, it's not forced into your telescam. I'm looking for making sure that your white paper isn't just copy paste from some other source. I'm looking that you put thought into the information that you shared with people. Because just like Stacked Finance, which rug pulled, by the way, Stacked Finance, it lacked fundamentals, which is why I said, you guys aren't going to be around for the long. I don't believe it. And then guess what? Did a pre-sale, which I told them was a bad idea, and they didn't listen. And then it rug pulled. Why? Because if they can't be arsed to care about the fundamentals, they don't care about the investors either. And if any of them on this team wants the smoke, bring it. I'm here. I'm not hard to find. CryptoTalkRadio.net. Fill out the contact form, and I'll have you on the podcast, and we can talk it out. If you can convince me that these are just simply oversights and you didn't catch it, and you want to learn something about how to make your project serious, if you're serious. I don't know if you're serious. I don't think you are. But if you think that you are and you want to prove it out, I'm all cool. We can talk it out. In closing, I did run their contract through Market Move. Market Move had some issues with the contract. It didn't have any issues with the actual process, as in, the holders and liquidity pools. It had an issue with the contract. It's not renounced. They can change fees. They can get their buddies to have no fees. They can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So what do I think would happen with this business over here? I think this is designed to enrich their friends. I think that they opened it up to let their friends make some money. First, it's going to pump and dump pattern, never going to recover, and then disappear at some point. That's what I believe. If the team hears this and you want that smoke to convince me why I got it wrong in what I perceive, or simply learn something about how to be taken more seriously and fix your fundamental issues, bring it. I'm not hard to find. CryptoTalkRadio.net. Fill out the contact form. I am going to ask you hard questions about everything I see. And if you're willing to fix those things, I'll back you and support you. Depends on if you want that smoke, though. So